Hi, my name is Brianna Jager. This is Marco and my handler Katie. Today we're going to be going over restraints. There are three different categories of restraints that can be used when handling a horse. There's verbal. Verbal can be used in many different ways. You can use a calm, soothing voice, easy to try to relax an excited horse, or you can use a more sharp tone, hey, just to get their attention and make them listen to you and instead of getting distracted by everything else that's going on. Another category of restraints would be chemical. There are three different drugs that are used as tranquilizers. There's acepromazine, xylazine, and detomidine. Whenever you're ready. ACE can be used for things like clipping to just get the horse to calm down a little bit so that you can actually clip them. Our last category of restraints is manual restraints. Katie is showing us the most basic form of restraints with Marco, a halter and lead rope. Whenever you're handling a horse or working around them, you want to use a halter and lead rope, as not using one could put you or the horse in a dangerous situation. Another form of manual restraints is just a lead shank. To put the lead shank on, you want to go from the outside in of this D-ring, come all the way through, and then you want to wrap it around the noseband so that it doesn't slide down over his nose. Then we're going to go from the inside out on this side and clip it on the clip up by his ear with the pointy end of the clip facing out. Then take all the slack out of it, and that's your lead shank. You can use this for leading an excitable horse to turn out. If they're not really listening, you can get their attention a little bit more. You want to always make sure it's around the noseband so that it can't slide down over their nose, as that could cause some pain. You also never want to tie with a lead shank, because if they pull back, the chain is a lot stronger than a regular halter, and it could cause serious damage to their nose. The next restraint I'm going to demonstrate is a lip chain. To do that, you want to go through, again, from the outside in, come around the front, and go from the inside out on this side and clip it up here again. This one is not wrapped around the noseband because you're going to slip it up under his lip along his gum. There you go. You want to make sure you're pulling down on the lead end so that he can't raise his head up and get away from you. Good boy. You never want to lead a horse or tie a horse with this because it puts a lot of pressure on their gums and can be really painful. You really only want to use it as a distraction if you're trying to give a horse a shot or something and you just need something to take their mind off whatever you're doing back there. You can also use a lip twine for that. To do the lip twine, again, you would go through this one, come around to this side, go through that D-ring, and attach it up here. Then, again, same as I did with the chain, you would just slip it under their lip, along their gums, and keep pulling down so that they can't pick their head up and get away from you. The next restraint I want to go over is a twitch. There are a couple different kinds of a twitch. This is just a basic rope twitch. There's also a chain twitch, which is where instead of the rope here for the loop, you would have a chain. Some people like the chain because it gives you a better grip on their lip and it doesn't slip off as easily, but it's also a little more painful and you could damage their lip with it. The other type of twitch is called a humane twitch. This one looks like a big pair of pliers that you would kind of grasp the lip in, and then it has a rope that you would wrap around to keep the two ends closed, and then that can be attached to the halter. That again could be a good distraction if you're trying to do a short medical procedure or one that isn't very serious, or if you're clipping and you just need something to get their mind off it. Now, when using a twitch, there are three different phases. The first one is kind of a distraction phase that lasts for about 3 to 5 minutes. The next stage is the analgesic stage. That's where the horse goes into kind of a happy zone, and their body starts releasing endorphins, and it calms them down. The next stage is the blow stage. That happens at 12 to 15 minutes. Oh, the analgesic stage is 10 to 15. So you want to make sure the horse doesn't hit that blow stage, because the blow stage is when the twitch starts to become painful, and if it's left on, they could get really upset and just try to get away from the twitch, and it might end up hurting you or themselves. When using a twitch, you want to be really careful to make sure that you always have the handle under your arm or in your hand, because if you let go when it's twisted on a horse's lip, it will swing around and the horse can throw it around, and it can become a weapon that could injure you or your horse. The next restraint I want to go over is a shoulder roll. All you do is grab a bunch of the horse's skin in front of his shoulders and roll your hand into him. See how he took a step? This is good for distractions for really short things. If you need to give a shot or you need to draw blood, it's a good quick distraction. You don't want to do it for a very long time though, because it's really hard on your hand and it can start to hurt after a while. The last restraint I want to go over is just the leg lift. To do this, you just run your hand down like you're going to pick his foot up to clean it out or something, and then you hold it. You can put a second hand there for some extra support. If someone else is trying to work on the horse's front leg, then you can pick up the leg on the other side. You never want to pick up a back leg for a leg lift, because the horse can kick and they have a lot more power back there. You also don't want to pick up the diagonal leg. Like if someone was working on the back right, you wouldn't want to pick up the front left, because horses can stand on diagonal pairs. So remember, always work with the front leg and try to be on the same side as the other person who's working on the horse or your handler.